What's going on, my brother? How you feeling?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I'm glad you could join us. Everybody out there, this is A Plus Sports. That's my man Lamar. I'm Joe. We're going to show you some interesting things about sports tonight. What do
I'm
you
with it,
have
man.
first off?
I'm with it, man. But first, I gotta get this with you right here. Why you got a Yankees hat on, man?
To be honest with you, I put this Yankees hat on because I thought that would increase the brand. The Yankees
Oh
brand is a
God.
successful brand. So I'm going with the Yankees. The Yankees are actually in the MLB playoffs. So
Right.
go Yankees.
So what do your fellow Detroit Tiger fans feel about that?
They're probably sitting at home like I am talking about how come we can't be like the Yankees. We're hey, Cabrera, he's good. He's
Yeah.
good, but he's at home. Just like how you're at home and we're at home, but the Yankees are playing on.
Well, I gotta like correct you a little bit there, man.
Fire away.
I'm at home here in Dallas, but my heart is back at home with them Cleveland Guardians who won the Central Division and going to the playoffs, baby.
Are you guys playing the Tampa Bay Rays in the playoffs?
Right now, it says to be announced. We don't know yet.
To be announced.
We don't know what it's going to be just yet.
So this topic will be continued at another date. I'm I'm glad these guys are playing ball. A lot of
Yeah,
great teams are playing baseball right now.
right.
Uh, what
So
I would
you
like to what I would like to mention to you right now, the Yankees hat is a very notorious hat. Very notorious.
yeah. I
Thanks for
agree.
pointing out. Thanks for pointing out. Here it is. The Yankees hat is a very notorious hat, but there's also as we click on the banner, there's some notorious wardrobe in sports.
Yeah,
There's
right.
some
And
very
and man. The thing about that, there are some people that can wear certain jerseys that will get you hurt, literally
yes
get you hurt. You know what I'm saying? And
hurt.
now, again, like I said, I'm from Cleveland now. It didn't matter what jersey number it was back in the day, but if you wore a Steelers jersey, bro, you might get a two piece, and if it's after a game, you'll get a five piece. You know what I'm saying? Whack, 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 and that's for real. And then, so tell me this: what would you say? What would you say your top five notorious jerseys are?
Okay, I'm going. Oh, this is gonna be a touchy subject to some.
Okay,
There was a gentleman. There's a gentleman. I'm gonna try and pronounce his name properly.
okay,
Orenthal Orenthal Simpson, better known as
wow,
O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson,
wow,
the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are doing great in the NFL right now. The
yeah,
Buffalo Bills were doing great when O.J. Simpson was running for a million gazillion yards.
hmm
Unfortunately, one night, one night,
hmm
we lost two lives.
yeah, and a legend,
OJ got a lawyer named Johnny Cochran.
yeah.
OJ OJ has went through it. Was that 1993?
It was in the '90s, but you know what's even more remarkable is that weren't the Bills a superb team back in those days?
The Bills used to battle the Dallas, shout out to Dallas, the Dallas Cowboys. Like
Yeah,
every year the Bills were in the Super Bowl until until OJ
'94.
Simpson.
That
OJ
that
Simpson came around.
from 94 to 95 was that duration. I think they got killed in 94. I think the trial might have been 95. I'm thinking maybe right around that. Yeah, right around that time. Because I know my daughter was born in 95. That was right around that time. That was living in
Beautiful.
North Carolina. But yeah, it's right around that time, man. But speaking of that for a minute, and think about this. Well, 2 points. First, as great as he was on the field, the Bills went to the Super Bowl around that time. It was bad to wear that OJ jersey while the
Oh, it
Bills were
still
great.
hurts.
And now again, coming back now, the Bills are doing awesome. At least in the last couple of years, to where you think he's a legendary player for Buffalo, and you can't even wear his
Buffalo.
jersey.
You can't put it on without triggering an ancient emotion. The
Yeah,
OJ Simpson is number one on my top notorious jersey list. I dare you.
man.
I dare you to ask me what my number two notorious jersey is. I double dare you.
Okay, I dare you. What's your number two?
Okay. Bow wow wow. Michael Vick. Put on a
Michael
Michael
Vick.
Vick jersey.
But you
Put
know
on
what?
a Michael Vick jersey.
I think that if you wore a Michael Vick Atlanta's jersey, but if you wore a Michael Vick Jets jersey or Michael Vick Philly jersey, it would be a little different.
It'd be different, but that Atlanta, ooh, that black, the red, the white, it
And
was fantastic.
it was the dopest jersey,
And you can't wear it. Don't put it on. Somebody, and, let's just talk about pets.
Okay.
Pets,
Okay.
pets are like family. I you have a pet, don't you? Is
I
Thor
got
in the
two.
building?
I Thor in the building, but he better keep his butt downstairs. Actually, I got two. I got Thor and I got Brandy.
Hey, I've seen Thor and I've seen Brandy. We love animals. Unfortunately, some people who don't know, Michael Vick was taken out of the NFL simply because a dog died. Maybe multiple dogs. Several dogs. They're dogs. Dogs are important. We don't need PETA coming for the A+
Right.
sports show. We don't need that. We
Right.
support.
Right. Right. Right.
We
We
love
support you.
Petco. We love those places. We support animals. But unfortunately, Michael Vick's life changed due
Yeah.
to a death of an animal. How do you feel about Michael Vick? He's kind of turned the corner in
Yeah.
recent years.
I thought it was unjust from the beginning. Um, and I say that because it was done on his property. He knew what was going on, but I didn't think that validated for him to be or justified for him to do was it like 4 years in prison. Um, there's been so many different crimes or people associated with crimes. Because Michael Vick, I don't think actually was there a lot. I think that was his brother most of the time. But
Markets.
right, but Marcus, but Steve, people. I mean, it's like the affiliation with it or allowing it to happen. We've had a lot of. I can give you two instances of people related to criminal activity. You have Babe Ruth, a
Oh
legend,
yeah,
home run legend, but he was known to affiliate with the mobs of New York.
the
The
real
mafia,
mob.
the real mob. Mob. We ain't talking about these little thugs or that you want to call thugs on the corner. We're talking
Pull
about
your
real.
pants
Right.
up.
We're talking about real criminals that not only did dirt in the streets underground, but also were involved with politics, involved with city planning, involved with big businesses, all of that. So they knew that. Another name I want to throw at you that people don't know unless they research it was Joe Namath. So
what,
look
what
at you.
did
You got shot.
what
What?
what did Broadway Joe do? What did fur coat? What did Broadway Joe do to you? What
Okay.
happened?
So Joe Namath used to run a youth camp back in the 70s.
Uh-oh.
It was a youth camp. And so the youth camp was something that people, Joe Namath was just named that, like you said, Broadway Joe is like a marquee across his head everywhere he walked. But Joe Namath had people on his staff, one in particular, a guy who molested young boys.
Oh no,
So
you can't do
yes,
that.
yes,
No.
he did the Joe Paterno on him. And so the thing about it was this one kid in particular was like it was just him repeatedly with this guy. And he came clean with it. And the thing about it is that during that time, it was said that Joe Namath knew about it. Not only that, it is spread through the fact that the NFL got wind of the fact that it happened. And nothing was done about it. They allowed it to continue. So you look back at the same thing at Penn State,
Joe
with Joe
Paterno.
Paterno, people knew what was going on and they allowed it to happen. So that's one of the things that hurt me the most is when I see this. This could be any line of business where you violate children. It's like children just want to have fun. They want to just live life. And when you violate a child, so Joe Namath's jersey is one of the notorious jerseys in my mind because of the fact you violated children with this. So, but go ahead, man. I had to throw that out there. And by the way, when I think of football, I think of pizza. So
you gotta love pizza. You gotta take a bite. You gotta get a slice. You gotta get a slice. You know, pizza is associated with football. You know who else is associated with football?
Who's that?
Ricky Williams. Now, if it's up to me, this is gonna.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
This is good. Now, I'm gonna try and make the stretch. I'm gonna make the stretch. Ricky Williams has had several NFL jerseys in his career. The stretch is Ricky Williams lost his NFL career by using drugs. And when I say drugs, marijuana, we call it weed. The old folks call it reefer. Yeah. But Ricky Williams, he lost his NFL career.
Yeah.
Marijuana is also legal in several states. That was my stretch. I wish I could do something for Ricky Williams, but I can't. You can't turn back the hands of time for Ricky Williams. And just to go below the belt, Aaron Hernandez.
Woo!
Woo! We got a Ric Flair. We got a Ric Flair sighting. We got a woo!
But see, he was on my list.
Yeah.
He was on my list, man. And thing about Hernandez is that this guy's dirt goes all the way back to college. And we don't know how far back. Now, was it the Hurricanes or the Gators?
Florida Gators. Tim Tebow was on the team.
Oh, Urban Meyer was the coach.
Urban Meyer was the coach. And I can't forget Percy Harvin. He's a whole nother topic. But Aaron Hernandez, that's an awkward jersey to wear out in public. Those
I was hoping he was innocent on that, man.
Hey, we all did, but man, he went out bad. Aaron Hernandez went out real bad. And
all the way to his death.
To the death. He went out bad.
So if you think of this, with the legacy of the Patriots and all their Super Bowl wins, they probably, at least out of the last, say, 15 years, they got some bad dirt under their nails, don't they?
A lot of it. Inflated balls. The Patriots know how to do things and know how to get caught. They
get away with it. And they get away with it.
Get caught. Tom Brady went to court over inflated balls. He actually missed some games. Hey,
now, go back there for a minute.
Okay.
I understand it was a crime in
Oh yeah.
football language. And he got did he lose? Didn't he lose some games, right?
Yes.
And the team had to give up draft picks and I think money.
Yes.
Was all that necessary for deflated balls? Did that you think those balls made a difference in winning or losing a game?
Well, when Tom Brady puts his hands up in the air and he shows you all those rings on his fingers, it might have been worth it because he's the greatest quarterback of all time. Tom Brady is the GOAT. No disrespect to Joe Montana, but man, Tom Brady, when he flashes that jewelry, you almost got to say it was worth it.
It was worth it.
Now, you know what?
Is there an
You're
asterisk?
from Cleveland, right?
Wait, is that an asterisk next to his name? Like anybody else who won something?
I think he's bigger than an asterisk.
Okay.
Tom Brady has become bigger than an asterisk. He's just
Okay.
Tom. You're
Okay.
from Cleveland, correct?
Correct.
This is my last notorious jersey, or should I say jerseys?
Oh gosh.
The chosen one. Oh, you go!
No,
How many
no.
times?
You think
How
it's
many
notorious?
times has a LeBron James jersey? LeBron James jersey has went up in flames at least on 2 occasions.
No, just once. Just
Two.
once. No, when? Only once.
The Miami fans didn't burn.
Did they burn his fan? Did they burn his jersey down there?
You know,
Let's look it up and see.
yes. I'm gonna say yes. Yes. I'm gonna say somewhere in the state of Florida, somebody looked at Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, and LeBron James, and then they said, I'm gonna burn this LeBron James jersey like they did in Cleveland, Ohio.
Let me see.
I'm sure
Ah!
someone.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! This is ridiculous. No, man.
What you got?
No,
What you
I
got?
didn't mind them burning that one, but actually, them burning the LeBron jersey in Cleveland and burning it in Miami. I can't trip too much on it, but
Oh no! Oh no! It's true. It's true, and it's hot. It's hot.
You want to
The
sell
Heat,
out because
the
you
Heat
bought beer
logo.
only? Wow, shows your true colors, homie.
look at that.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That completes our notorious jerseys in sports.
I got something for you.
What you got?
I got one for you right now. Who I really feel bad for this player.
Okay.
He did something wrong. He did something wrong, but he corrected it.
Okay.
Ray Rice. Domestic violence, which is, not to be tolerated. But
Not
the thing about it, him and his wife reconciled. Him and his wife got married. Well, at the time they were engaged. They got married. They got married. They went on live TV in interviews, talked about their mistakes and reconciling their marriage. What makes that so phenomenal is that it's a testimony to the fact that couples can have adversity and still reconcile their marriage to preserve it, to make the marriage work. And I was like, man, he should have been invited back into the league. You know what I'm saying? He was a testimony for a situation that went bad and redeemed himself, not only to the public, but to the person that he hurt. A lot of times you think about this. A lot of players, they want to hurt somebody or they do something to offend somebody that make this public apology. But how many of them actually go to the person they hurt and apologize or make a public apology to the person that they hurt? You rarely see that. You rarely see it.
You know what? You have changed my mind right here, right now, tonight on A Plus Sports about Ray Rice.
Really?
You really have. Something bad happened. He stood up. He t-
Yeah.
he 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 took it. He
He
took
took
it.
it. Yep.
He took it. And still a bad jersey to wear.
But let me tell you, I got a jersey. I got a jersey for you I got a jersey for you that will wipe out all them jerseys we just talked about.
What you got?
And I hate saying it.
Uh-oh.
Deshaun Watson.
Oh wow. Deshaun Watson has a Disney movie on on Disney Plus.
Do we?
They might have took it down. They might have took it
Really?
down, but
I didn't know
Deshaun
that.
Watson had a movie on
I
the
didn't know that.
Disney Plus.
I didn't know that.
They may have taken it down. Now,
Wow.
could you tell me why Deshaun Watson has a problem?
Okay. Okay. I will say he's a freak. Okay. He's a he's a sex freak. I just put it, he's a sex freak. So
Rick
I put
James, super freak.
right. So that's one thing. Okay. The other thing is the NFL. Do I
Oh,
feel? Do I feel? If you've heard me talk about this, I don't have an issue with Deshaun Watson being suspended or banned from the NFL for life. If they had said we're going to ban Deshaun Watson for life to never return to the NFL, I would have been okay with it with some uh what's the word I want to use?
stipulations?
Stipulations. The stipulations would be that these current owners, NFL executives who have been accused of the same thing should
Oh,
receive the same punishment. Now, to show you the hypocrisy in that is that again the Patriots, they Robert Kraft, got down with the sex thing. He
he
went to
had
go
some
and get
fun in Florida.
right. He had some fun in Florida, got some freebies. Not only did he get freebies, but all the politicians he was hanging with in Florida. But to make it still so hurtful was the fact that he got busted in a sex trafficking sting. Now, that what they say was the video, although the video was valid, it was him in the video.
Yeah.
Because it was secretly recorded, they say that it can't be used in court. Now, that's something that bothers me because it's only the rich people can get away with stuff like that can't be used in court. I mean, they done wiretap so many people I know. I ain't gonna say so many people I know, but there's been many people that I keep saying many. I know some people who've been wiretapped and convicted of a crime because they hear them talking or it was a surveillance of some sort. And they get busted on petty things. I look at petty drug dealing as something nowhere near as severe as being part of a sex trafficking sting.
I
Nowhere near,
agree with you.
nowhere near. So getting back to the point is that Deshaun Watson, if he's gone for a life, there should be repercussions for some of these owners and executives. It's so bad that Daniel Snyder for the Washington Commanders, when he was asked to come to a congressional hearing in DC, this coward, I'm calling him a coward.
Coward.
Coward. He jumped on a boat and went over to the Mediterranean.
Gone like
if
a
that
bird.
was right, if that was you, you couldn't do that.
No.
So notorious for Deshaun Watson, yes. And I can't even really say it shouldn't be notorious. I mean, they burning his jersey over bridges in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? It's that bad.
Oh,
They got
man.
signs on bridges saying Deshaun, get the blankety blank out.
You know, that just goes to show how serious sports are in this country.
Yeah.
The just sports in general. You gotta have a winner, you have to have a loser, and we have rivalries.
Yeah.
We have childhood rivalries with our sisters, our brothers, but there's nothing like the great sports rivalries that we have. Do you have any sports rivalries that come to mind? Anything?
Go with yours first. I got a mouthful of pizza.
Hey, at A Plus Sports, we love pizza. We love pizza. Go ahead and take another bite.
I get it. Okay, my greatest sports rivalries. Here we go. Leonard Hearns is one of my best rivalries. I love that rivalry.
You got to explain that one to me.
Sugar Ray Leonard, boxer versus Hearns. That they fought 3 times.
3 times.
The first time, was it 3 times or 2 times? It was 2 times. 2 times. And those 2 were like in the first fight, they were at the top of their game. And they wanted to go at it for so long. Finally they did, and it was like a spectacular fight. Sugar Ray knocked him out in the 14th round.
Woo!
Years later in their life, they fought again. Many people thought Hearns won, but they gave it to Leonard. So that was one of my top rivalries. The other rivalry, of course, O State versus Michigan. That's like one of my best rivalries. It is what it is, bro. It's one of the best rivalries. Another rivalry that you're going to like because you got the hat on is the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox. That's a big rivalry. That's a big rivalry right there.
Oh, that's a good one.
Now, another one that I love is the Lakers and the Celtics.
Beautiful.
Great rivalry right there.
Magic and Bird.
If you really want to go deep with it, anytime the United States play Russia in anything, it's a rivalry.
Instant rivalry.
They can play some dice. It's gonna be a rivalry.
You ain't never lied. You ain't never lied about that. It's a rivalry. This Russia, what? It's a rivalry. It really is.
Yep, right now. Yeah, those are my top 5, man.
You know what? Your top 5 was so great. Your top 5 was so great. I only got one. I only have one.
Okay.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan versus the Detroit Pistons. That has got to be the greatest rivalry.
Actually, I'm about to break your heart right now.
What you got? What you got?
Okay, first of all, you familiar with Bleacher Report, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so Bleacher Report got your rivalry rated as number 27.
27?
27.
Oh,
that rivalry began in 1988.
My heart is broken.
So the number 1 rivalry, which I know this is a great rivalry. I just was too young to see it, but I respect it as the number 1 rivalry in sports. Joe Frazier versus Muhammad Ali.
Number 1.
Joe Frazier Ali. Number 2, Ohio State versus Michigan.
Number 2.
Montreal Canadiens versus Toronto Maple Leafs.
Okay.
Number 4 is Finland versus Sweden. Number 5 is Real Madrid versus Barcelona. That's a big one. That's big right there. Then you got Celtic FC versus the Rangers FC.
All right.
You got India versus Pakistan. This world rivalries.
The world rivalries.
Number 8, Boston Red Sox versus the New York Yankees. Number 9, Detroit's in the house. Detroit Red Wings versus the Chicago Blackhawks. That's a rivalry.
Yeah, that's some good
rivalry.
stuff. Good stuff.
Number 10, how do we forget this one? Forget this one? The Duke Blue Devils and the Tar Heels.
Oh, that
basketball.
Is crazy. That would be Cameron Arena.
Yeah.
The schools are in a proximity real close together. It could be 20 miles apart.
Yeah.
Those guys are insane. That
Yes.
game is insane. The Tar Heels, you can't think of the Tar Heels without thinking about Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan, Worthy, Sam Perkins, Kyrie was Kyrie was at Duke. But yeah, Tar Heels, man, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, man. That's where
It's
it's at.
so close. That is a perfect example of a rivalry. That's almost playing the school across town. That's a real rivalry right there in history. My heart was broken that my my beloved Detroit Pistons, the good
Mhm.
ones, the good
Yeah.
bad boys, are 26 on Bleacher Report. That
Yeah.
broke my heart because growing up, I watched how Michael Jordan became great, and he had to do it by getting past the Detroit Pistons.
Hmm.
Once he got past the Detroit Pistons, he never looked back.
Yeah.
If you're watching at home, look down at your feet and see if you have some Jordans on right now. And if
Actually, I
you
wore
don't,
something to work today.
you want something to work.
I did.
Everybody at home, look down at your feet right now and look at the person on the right, look at the person on the left. You see a Jordan logo, and all of that came off the back of Michael Jordan finally defeating the Detroit Pistons. I know it's number 26 on Bleacher Report, but in my heart,
27.
27? Oh no, it got
Had
lower.
to
It got
move
lower.
you back one.
It got lower. But in my heart, that is the number one sports rivalry in my heart.
Okay.
I
I
I,
got
I
I
like to say I like to say Michigan versus Ohio
that's a
will
big one.
get you hit. It will get you hit.
Yeah.
That is serious. That is
Yeah, I
so
got a true
serious.
story for you.
What rank is that? What you got?
Well, that rivalry is number two. That's number two rivalry.
Two.
Yeah. So I got a true story. So I had a coworker, right? She was she used to do teaching teaching assignments. She worked in corporate America, but then they would bring her in to different cities to speak on whatever it was within a business class, whatever that topic might have been, for business majors. And her son played at Michigan. Okay, so
Okay.
of course, she had a lot of Michigan attire. So she goes to Ohio State. Now, this is the part that I don't understand. Well, I take it back. This was her first year. When he was a freshman, she went to Ohio State to speak. This lady rose up into the campus with a Ohio State. No, I take it back. She was met at the airport by her, the admin that was working with her to take her around. And the lady picked her up and said, "You might want to go
Okay.
change that shirt because that's like our enemy." And she was like, "Is it that bad?" She said, "Lady, I'm telling you, you don't want to wear that shirt." So she dropped. She
Don't do
doesn't
it.
wait. The lady never agreed to change her shirt, right? She never agreed. But check this out. This is how deep it goes. The lady, the coworker, the coworker of mine was like, "Is it that bad?" And she said, "Yeah." It's like, "You can get hurt." And she was like, never said, "Okay, let me change the shirt." So the admin was driving, whoever her escort was driving her, and drove her right to Walmart. Took her right to Walmart, parked right in
Low
front of
prices.
just parked right in front of she parked right in front of Walmart, and she was like, "I'll be waiting here for you when you come out." So
Whoa.
so she goes in, she buys a shirt, changes her shirt, and she goes into the class. She's teaching the class, and she tells this story to her classmates. And they told her she never would have completed her class if she had wore that shirt in class. The students told her, "You never would have finished today." So that's how deep this rivalry goes. And she was so innocent because she had no idea that it was that big of a rivalry. And I'm like, wow. And
And
that lady lives here in Texas, but her son went to school, played football for Michigan. So yeah.
rivalries in sports, you can get hurt. You can get hurt.
Yeah.
And you know, I I'm glad that lady went to Walmart and got some low prices because
Right.
the kids told
Yeah.
her you
Yeah.
would have never made it through this class. You would have
Okay.
never made it.
Right.
And
Right.
it's true. It's true. There's some
They
I
told her.
have family. I have some family. We almost couldn't talk to each other for a certain period
Wow.
of time. We couldn't talk to each other. And you know, living in Michigan, it was hard. It was very hard seeing Urban Meyer
Yeah.
beat us repeatedly. He might have got like 6 or 7 championships over my Michigan Wolverines. He might have he did, and he came out of retirement, which surprised me.
And whipped
Like I
y'all.
thought he was gone. He was gone, and then he came back and beat us and broke our heart. Beat us, broke our heart. We were so happy that Urban Meyer left. And hey, not to get off topic, Urban Meyer's probably at home right now. He's probably at home right now.
Yeah.
You know, but Urban Meyer didn't end up so good, but he sure did make the Ohio State look good by beating
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
over
Well, we.
and over again.
I think it
Uh,
started off though. Think about it. It started before Urban Meyer. It started with Jim Tressel,
Jim Tressel, the
Ohio
vest,
boy.
the
Yeah.
vest.
The vest.
He got
Yeah.
trouble over a tattoo from
The
Terrell
whole
Pryor.
the whole team. It wasn't just. It was several players got tattoos. Terrell Pryor was the star quarterback. And I'm like, man, really? But yeah, over some
Really,
tattoos. And
a
see,
tattoo.
that's what makes the NIL so good right now. The NIL, it makes that so good right now because these kids can now make, some type of monetary money off of, that the NIL, which is their likeness, and it's something because
Long
think about all
time
these
coming.
schools, they make money. I remember all the jerseys. Remember Maurice Claret? All those
I
Maurice
do.
Claret jerseys, all those jerseys that they made, and then somebody gave him a car, and he gets in trouble. You know,
Big time
the
trouble.
dude needed to, get back and forth to where he had to go, but but then you get you make it to take you to another level. Reggie Bush's whole family got a place to live.
They find ways. It's a trap. You got to be careful as a college student, and it's a long time coming. Taking care of these kids.
Yeah,
It's not easy. It's not easy to be it's not easy to do academics and sports. A
yeah,
lot of people have pulled it off, but some they kind of they kind of had to do some things.
yeah,
And I remember Reggie Bush. He got a really nice car. He lost his Heisman Trophy
yeah,
with USC.
yeah,
You can't get caught up, and it's good that people have finally changed their minds and were like, let's pay these kids.
yeah, man.
NIL. Is this the first year or the second year?
I think it started last year.
Last year?
Yeah,
Hey, it's like the Wild West.
yeah,
Regulations aren't there, but they're
yeah,
coming. But it took it's a long time coming.
yeah,
It's a good thing that these
yeah.
guys are getting paid. Now, speaking of the NIL, I gotta ask you, how much money do you think Tim Tebow would have made?
Oh man, he would have made a killing, man.
Yeah,
He would have made
yeah.
a. He wouldn't. And think about it, he wouldn't even need the NFL money. He would have made all his money doing college.
Do,
You
do
know?
you have another? Do you have another player that could have benefited from the NIL being or existing when they were in school? Is there another player besides
Let
Tim
me think.
Tebow that comes to your mind?
That could have been like that amazing star, but just didn't pan out in the NFL. that could have been
Yeah.
amazing. It's a lot of names that pop in. I'm trying to think of that one big name, the one big name that would have really benefited. Well, actually, there's a couple of quarterbacks. I'm trying to think of somebody else. Man, that boy from Notre Dame who had got catfish. Man, tell y'all, think about how good he was. Pretty good.
He was pretty good. He
Yeah,
was pretty good.
he
Um,
was good. You got the
yeah,
quarterback Testaverde with Miami Hurricanes. Testaverde.
Testaverde is a good one.
Testaverde had a big name. Charlie Ward. Charlie Ward.
How do you feel about Johnny Manziel? Could Johnny Manziel have made
Oh,
some
you're
money?
right. Yes, he would have.
You
He
would have
would
made
have.
some money.
He would have
Does
made some good
anybody?
moves. He would have been the pinnacle for the NIL for college.
Definitely,
You're right. He
definitely.
he had the swagger, everything that would have drawn those dollars his way. You're right.
A lot of
You're right.
dollars.
Here's
Hey,
one. Here's one
what
who
you
truly deserved it, but I don't know why he didn't pan out in the NFL. Troy Smith.
got?
What happened? What happened?
If we Google Troy Smith, it might not be pretty, but Troy Smith is another one that could have benefited, which just brings the attention to the NIL was a long time coming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean,
many.
like, what happened? Like, why didn't he make it in the pros? He was
It's
like a
not a
legend. He was a legend in high school. He was a
high
legend at
school.
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
He was a legend at Ohio State. Got to Baltimore Ravens, and it was like fizzle, fizzle. He did a Johnny Man. It was like a Johnny Manziel. He didn't like it. He was backup for a couple. Like he just couldn't produce on that level.
uh, you know, that is insane. That you get a great player and then they go to another level and they lose. There is a
Yeah.
big difference in winning and losing. Hey, is there any chance that you have any winners and losers from the NFL this weekend that caught your attention? Any winners and losers?
This week's losers, I did have something that caught my attention. I'm going to bring it back up. I had that here for us. I'm looking for it now. But my Cleveland Browns was really a big disappointment that they should have beat the Falcons in that game. And their defense really just had holes in it that was ridiculous. I mean, I didn't understand the type. And this is not only the first game. Every game this year, their defense showed holes in the secondary because they lost to the Jets on the first game by having a double-digit lead and lost
Oh wow.
to the Jets. Yes, I mean they had a double-digit lead with like no, not double. It was a double-digit with like less than a minute and a half left in the game. Like 2 minutes in the game, they had like a 10-point lead, I think it was. So
And it just unraveled.
just unraveled, and just the carelessness of defense, the play calling, it's just ridiculous. I'm looking for the football, the scores. I mean, from
Oh
this past weekend, but also you see that the Rams and the 49ers.
wow.
That was an upset
Yeah,
right there. The
you
49ers
know,
beat the Rams, and that was like they gonna make what's his name what's it, what,
Garoppolo,
he
Jimmy
gonna keep his
Garoppolo,
he gonna keep his job. You watch.
he gonna keep his job. And Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G, looks like he's gonna do great things. Jimmy G needs to be doing State Farm commercials with Aaron Rodgers because he really is insurance. He really was
Yeah.
insurance.
So what did you think about the GOAT, Tom Brady and the Chiefs?
You know, it was a great game. As Rasheed Wallace would say, both teams played hard, but it hurt. It hurts to lose. But I have to say one thing about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Mhm.
My prayers are with you and the whole Tampa Bay area. They recently
Yeah,
went through
yeah,
a
yeah,
catastrophic weather incident. They had a
Yeah.
pretty bad hurricane, but they put their hats on, they
Yeah.
laced up their shoes, they played the game, they made
Yeah.
it close, and they took a L. They took an L, but they showed up. You know who else
Well,
showed up?
wait, hold on. Well, the Chiefs showed up, especially Mahomes. He showed up. But getting back to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers is that I watched Tom Brady, this GOAT, basically not come through because they had like every time he was scored, they was already down by several scores already, several points. So they score again, they're down by several points. He never can close the gap. So they lost 41-31, but he never was able to close a gap to say, let's get down by one score where we can make a move. And I'm like,
He
man, I
could
felt bad
never
for him.
he never got it that close to where one thing from Tom Brady could have created success. That is true. I'm letting him off the hook.
Did you see that Mahomes? Let me find if I can find that Mahomes pass.
I'm
Man,
letting Tom Brady
this pass
and
was so
the
crazy.
Buccaneers off the hook. That was
Let
a
me see if
beautiful play.
here you go. I found it. This is like I wish it was a better quality video though. It's like got a blur. Let me see if I can find another one. But man, that pass was freaking incredible. Only Mahomes could have done a pass
Only,
like that. I'm like, this is
only.
ridiculous. Let me see. Is this the one? I hate.
I join everyone
Sometimes
to be
you
frugal
got to get
because I'm
past
famous,
these
but not
these
famous,
commercials, and
I'm more like that guy from that thing, famous. So
I don't want to play these
saving
commercials
money
on
is
here, but it's
pretty
down to
clutch for me.
I can't stand that, man. But this was crazy. This was crazy.
They sneaked in. Here's the greatest play.
Oh no, that wasn't the one.
Great play.
Over to Kelsey, and it's a Kansas City touchdown.
That wasn't even the one I was talking about.
The diversion with the quarterback, Noah Gray, just lurking around, and the tight end took the snap and took it in for the score.
Oh yeah, that was not the play.
Watch Antoine Winfield.
But
Yeah, that was the one I
Mahomes
was.
makes a lot of great plays, and that's just another one.
Here we go, right here.
Patrick Mahomes definitely has a future in the
Watch
NFL.
this.
Escaping on the move. Mahomes stops, spins, flips it
He
forward
broke
for the
away.
touchdown to Edwards Hilaire.
Did you see that, man?
Mahomes straddled the line of scrimmage
I'm gonna bring that back.
from the
I've
two.
seen it
Mahomes
live. I can watch that all day.
on the move.
Right here. Watch this. The
Break
move
away.
right here. Watch this. The move right here. This is like Kyrie Irving crossing you up.
Mahomes.
Exactly.
Wait. Look at the defender right there. Look at him right here. Look where he at. He's
That
on his
looks pretty
knees.
pitiful.
He took a man to his knees.
Where did he go?
Now check out. Not only is he knees, but he spun him around to look at the touchdown. You know what I'm saying? he tried to stop him. He spun him around. He twisted him around to where the defender is now looking at him from behind, scored a touchdown.
Looking right at him.
Looking right
He
at him.
needs
Spins, flips it forward for the touchdown to Edwards Hilaire.
Man, can you imagine that defender sitting there on his knees, watching this dude do this? I don't even know what you call that, but he just pitched it off to him.
He needed a GPS to find Patrick Mahomes at that point. He needed a phone, and he would have had to click on where is Patrick Mahomes, because Patrick Mahomes shook him real good in front of the world. I had to watch that. I had to watch it. But hey, greatness is greatness, and Patrick Mahomes is great.
He's good, man.
I do feel like the Detroit Lions were also great. They just can't win. They just can't win. We're scoring 40 points. Can't win.
What is one of your?
We scored.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the Detroit Lions. They were on a show called Hard Knocks. Everybody loves them. We just can't win. We don't know what's going on. You know, I'm really like, I watched the game. I could be cutting my grass. But I'm watching the Detroit Lions, and they're putting up points. I would like to say, Jared Goff.
He's horrible.
He's the same height as Joe Montana. You know, I
Yeah.
just want to throw that out there. Jared Goff is the same height as Joe Montana. I wish he could play like Joe Montana because we just can't win. We just can't win a game. And you know, but it's worth watching. Although we lost.
Right.
Again.
Okay. When you brought up Detroit, I saw this video, man. That kind of you're saying they're good, but actually they're like trash. But you know, I understand. But I want you to see some of the tortured fans. You remember these back in the day?
Yes.
Brown.
Yes, well, that's your squad.
Well, you know where the bags came from, right?
Where did the bags come from?
That started in the 80s with the New Orleans Saints. They were so bad. They were so bad. So you're a young buck. You don't remember that. The Aints. Oh, you remember? Oh, you remember the Aints? What? Okay. So
I remember the Aints.
Phrase that's batted around a lot.
So he mentioned some of these teams.
They put the Eagles, the Chicago Cubs, the Washington Capitals. Sucks. Tortured
fans. Yeah, they go to Jaguars.
Who is it?
With the
As
bags.
a New England Patriots fan, nobody knows about suffering.
He went to it was another one. It was another meme they had. I'm trying to find it.
Made sure your parents.
Oh, right here.
Familiar with the name. Let me try to describe it to you. He was the shittiest president and CEO in all of sports history. Millen took over in 2001 and ran operations of the team for 7 seasons before ultimately being fired roughly 3 weeks into the 2008 season. During his tenure of running the team, Detroit went 31-81, roughly a 28% win percentage, which would be the third worst 7-year stretch.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that to you, man. I'm sorry, but I've been talked about so bad about the Browns, man. I
had to take a drink real quick. It hurts. It hurts.
That was pretty dope because I've been on those teams. I mean, my city's been part of those teams that we couldn't win. Because remember, we went 0-31, you know, or 1-31 over several seasons, you know. So
it's hard.
I feel you, man.
It's hard to explain the pain of a Cleveland Brown fan. It's hard to explain the tragic hurt of a Detroit Lions fan. That should be a sports rivalry right there. Who's had it worse? Tune in next week and we'll do the who's had it worse, Detroit or Cleveland. It hurts. It hurts.
It hurts. It really think about this. Think about this though, man. You know, paying tribute to the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions, in my opinion, had 3 of the best players to ever play the game. Barry Sanders,
number 1,
Calvin Johnson,
2,
and the drop kick man of all time, Billy Sims.
Billy, Billy Sims? I used to run like Billy as a small child. I used to do all those spin moves as a small child in elementary.
Yeah. Remember how he used to hurdle? He will hurdle over people, man. I was like, man.
His Jerry curl was fantastic. Yeah, I asked my mother, hey, I want to look like Billy Sims. She was like, hey, no, he's going to just pick your afro out. No, you're not getting an activator. Right. No, there's no activators, juice, none of that, no juice. There was no juice. I wanted to look like Billy Sims, but my mother was like, we're not buying activator every week. No, can't do it. I wanted to. Billy Sims, Calvin, Megatron, Johnson, and Barry Sanders. The thing about the Detroit Lions, management is what we say. How do you explain your losses in Cleveland?
Same thing, management. bad management, bad ownership, bad coaches. A lot of times when you know your fans are going to show up, it doesn't matter to owners and executives. They're like, but they're going to be here anyway. So not only that, it also, like, when you look at the coaching situation, like I look at Hugh Jackson. Now people say he was a trash coach. I feel Hugh Jackson didn't get a fair shot. And the reason why I say that is because when he came on board, I mean, we had other bad coaches before him, but when he came on board, he really had a scrub team. And like when you pass up a Deshaun Watson, I think it was that year, and you pick at the time Deshaun was a rookie, and you pick up the Deshaun Kaiser. I'm like, where's Kaiser at now?
He might be working at Walmart.
I mean, he wouldn't have been on my top 5 selection at all.
At all.
I mean, he wasn't that good in college, in my opinion. So for them to pick him up was like embarrassing. I'm like, why would you get that dude? And I look at all the players they get. So you finally get Baker Mayfield. And if you remember, Hugh Jackson was known as a quarterback guru. You know, he groomed some great coaches, some great quarterbacks. So even though he had a scrub team, he wasn't winning games. That doesn't mean he still can't coach a quarterback. So
Correct.
When Baker Mayfield did not want to be taught by Hugh Jackson, he didn't want to get up under his tutelage. Now, who was in his ear? I don't know, but he had to have been distracted by somebody else with Hugh Jackson. Because soon as they get rid of Hugh Jackson, you bring in Freddie Kitchens and all these other people, and they looked a little better. And then all of a sudden, they start bringing in free agents. Can you imagine if Hugh Jackson had the free agents that Stefanski had?
That he you know,
it might have been pretty good for him.
It would have, his career, his longevity would have been better if he had those opportunities.
Yeah,
but
I agree.
I'm under the belief that Baker Mayfield kind of sabotaged Hugh Jackson's career. I'm under that belief.
Hugh Jackson thinks so too. If you look at I Am Athlete, they talked about it. You know, we got like about a little under 3 minutes, man. You want to go into one of your? This is interesting for me right here. This is an interesting one, and I want to see what your thoughts are on this.
All right.
What is one of your sports conspiracies out there?
Oh, you know, all the time. You gonna make me come out the jacket? You gonna make me come out the jacket?
Okay.
I gotta apologize to everybody out there. We're running short on time. I have a Snoop Dogg shirt on. There's a Snoop Dogg shirt on.
Why you
and
apologize?
The thing about Snoop, hey, the thing about Snoop Dogg, I remember Snoop Dogg came to Tampa, Florida, and it was the year the Super Bowl was going to be played in Los Angeles. Okay. In Los Angeles, Dr. Dre, Eminem, Kendrick Lamar, Mary J. Blige, and a secret performance from 50 Cent. Forgive me if I've forgotten anybody else. I'm sorry, but that Super Bowl was played in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. Snoop Dogg came to Tampa, Florida, and Tom Brady lost the game. That particular game, the Bucs scored 0 points. You don't have to look it up now, but you're going to believe me later. The Bucs scored 0 points when Snoop Dogg was there. Proceeding on, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers had to face the Los Angeles Rams.
Right.
To go to the Super Bowl. And what happens? Matthew Stafford sees Cooper Kupp running down the field by himself. He was by himself. Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp. Next thing you know, and this is a conspiracy of mine, that's why we got that Super Bowl in Los Angeles. It's a conspiracy. I think Snoop Dogg, allegedly, this is just my opinion. I don't want any problems. No problems. I feel Snoop Dogg had a conversation. Next thing you know, me, grandma, your uncle, your cousins, we all are watching Dr. Dre in LA at the Super Bowl. I think there's a little something odd about that. And I gotta ask you, do you feel like that is a sports conspiracy worth investigating? Do you find anything weird about what I've just told you today?
I'm trying to understand it because I got lost in your story. Now you were saying they were in Tampa and then they were in. Okay, I know the Super Bowl was in LA.
All right.
So you're saying Snoop was in Tampa?
Snoop Dogg came to Tampa, Florida. They had to play the Buccaneers on a regular scheduled season game.
Yeah.
Regular game.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers scored 0 points.
I got you. So Snoop goes to LA, the Bucks go to LA, and they lose.
Now, the Los Angeles Rams had to play the Buccaneers to see who goes to the Super Bowl.
Right.
That playoff game was played in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
A playoff game.
Yeah. Okay.
Where Matthew Stafford found Cooper Kupp wide open.
It was set up, huh? It was set up for the Rams to play in the Super Bowl.
And then the Los Angeles Rams win the game, go to the Super Bowl, where Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, Eminem.
So let's
Does
flip
that raise the eyebrow?
Well, let's flip it.
Okay.
Tom Brady, everybody thought was going to be his last season in the NFL, goes to Tampa Bay. The game is played in Tampa Bay.
Yep.
And he wins the Super Bowl.
He won that one.
Let's go back another one. One. LeBron James comes back to Cleveland. He's not the hated fan. He's not the hated player anymore. They love him back in Cleveland. They go to the championship that first year in Cleveland. If it wasn't for Kyrie Irving messing up his ankle in that first game, the Cavs probably would have beat the Golden State Warriors that first season. So, yeah, they would have. They would have beat them. They was winning that game.
They were.
The next year, it's almost like the Cavs blew past teams. Were they that much better? Or the teams, or was the league set them up so the Cavs can finally get so Cleveland, the city of Cleveland, can finally get a championship. Now, the year that the Cleveland Cavs won that championship in 2016, they also won a hockey championship. We had an MMA championship. The Cavs won a championship, and somebody else, there was another team that won in Ohio. That was a Cleveland team. But it looks kind of odd. But now I'm going to flip it to you on conspiracy theories.
Okay.
Now, before LeBron left Cleveland fans going to remember this one. Before LeBron left Cleveland the first time, they were playing the Boston Celtics in the playoffs to go to the championship. LeBron looks horrible in that final game. The rumor was Delonte West was sleeping with his mom. That was the rumor in Cleveland. You can look it up. Now, Delonte West.
I've heard about this.
Delonte West got cut from the team that next year. He didn't play on the team next year. Delonte West went from a playoff player to a mentally disturbed individual living on the street on drugs.
Delonte West was
Now-
seen riding on a motorcycle with a bag full of shotguns.
I remember.
Delonte West tragically went downhill after that.
Was it because of the accusations, or was it that he was losing it anyway? Was it the accusations, or was did the accusations take him down that road, you think?
That is a great sports conspiracy. It's gonna be hard to double back on a Delonte West because we all know Delonte West was great.
He was
Delonte
pretty good.
West,
He was a good player, man.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Delonte West and Gloria, is it Gloria James, LeBron's mama?
Gloria. Yeah, you haven't seen her too much since then. She was at all the
Nope.
games before.
All the games.
Yeah. Even when
Not
he came back to
even
Cleveland, you didn't see her.
West.
Even when LeBron came back to Cleveland, you didn't see Gloria James.
Gloria James has
That's
been
interesting.
missing. There's a lot of great and mysterious sports conspiracies. We're gonna start investigating some more of these sports conspiracies on later shows. Right now, I just gotta ask you one quick question before we get out of here.
Okay, what's that?
Can you spell Giannis Antetokounmpo?
I know Giannis begins with the G.
Yeah, that counts. It was a win.
That's all.
It's a win.
That's all. The last name begins with the A, right?
That's a win. That is correct. That is correct.
And the last name end with the O.
So we're gonna work on that. We're also gonna work on this show called A Plus Sports every Tuesday. Every Tuesday. It's been great working with you, Lamar. Thank
too,
you.
Joe. It's been a pleasure.
And everybody who clicked the button, keep on clicking the button. We appreciate each and every one of y'all.
Yep. Stand by after the show.
Definitely.